do it. Get a grip. This stupid video I just showed you. I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show. You donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Johnny's never late. If I'm late, I'm dead. I don't like being late for anything, man. I'm always on time, baby. Always on time and ready to grind. Let's go. Don't take that the wrong way, Omar. In a different way. Work. I'm telling you guys, when I say there's never a dull moment in Notre Dame land, I mean there is never a dull moment in Notre Dame land. You're sitting here 2 days before the biggest game we've had in many, many years, and all the talks about what the quarterback situation is going to be next year. Like, dude, you can't make this stuff up. It's unbelievable when I say there's never a dull moment in Notre Dame land. I mean it. And you're 2 days before this huge game, and all the rumors and all anybody wants to talk about and all anybody's messaging me about is this quarterback thing and all these rumors that are out there. And we will address those. And we'll go over where I think this is at. And everybody's got their sources. If you look at Twitter, there is completely opposite opinions, and everybody says they have a source. Everyone says they have a source, and they're all saying different things. So somebody's wrong. It's unbelievable to me that I could pull up Twitter and I see all these opposite takes, and every one of them is, I got a source, and that's what they say. Oh, is somebody wrong, and somebody right. So that's the deal. We already got callers. Look at this. We already got callers, and I'm going to get some of my stuff out of the way, go over the schedule we're going to have for the next couple days. Listen, embrace this. Whatever you're feeling, whatever anxiety you have, whatever stress you have, whatever excitement, whatever, embrace it. This is what it's all about, you guys. Let all these other BS bowl games that nobody cares about go by. Watch them for entertainment. No, you're on the big stage here with everything to gain. This is what we do all this for. This is why this show exists. It's for this moment, this week, this kind of feel. This kind of feel. And here's the other thing, you guys. Callers, I love you. I'm going to come to you. Some of the negativity coming from Notre Dame fans about this, there's some of it in our chat already. If you ask yourself, which personality is Commander Luke going to have today? We got the answer, and it ain't the pretty one. But here's what I think. I think a lot of the people that are in my community that turn negative, I'm going to defend some of this negativity because I think I know where it's coming from. Angela, good to see you. It's always good to have a Rudiger here. One of the 947 of you and your cousins. It's good to have one of you here. Here's what I think's happening with some of the negativity. I think we get close to these big games, and I think there's this protective Notre Dame thing where, yeah, BKPSD is about right, P-Dub. You're with, that's right where I'm going. I think if you're in my age range, you're so used to Notre Dame failing spectacularly in this moment that some people emotionally protect themselves by being overly negative and getting that in. Their default is the negative side so that anything other than that is a pleasant surprise rather than to be gung-ho, all positive and be let down. And I just think some people, that's how they react to this kind of stressful moment. And I believe a guy like Commander loves Notre Dame. And I just think this is his protective way of processing entering this ball game. And so I get some of that. I get it, especially from the people that like don't just pop in here one day to be negative and I never hear from them again. People that are here a lot, I think they really do love Notre Dame. They're protecting their emotions. And I do understand that to a large extent. I've been that guy before, and I get it. So I do want to kind of throw that out there with some of the negativity. I think it is a protective feature against what all of us have felt. If you're my age, you know nothing but postseason pain or winning games that don't move the needle and no one cares. That is literally my entire existence. At 40 is either failing on the biggest stage, and it's not even like close, it's embarrassing failure, or playing in games nobody cares about and you win them. It doesn't move the needle. It doesn't move the needle. And so Tom says, Georgia, unfortunately, has a huge offensive line. We're missing Mills. Yeah, it's a problem. Like, it's a problem. What do they got? A couple guards that are 330 or whatever? Like, yeah, it's a problem. And so let's get into this. Yeah, I'm a man. I'm 40. Let me get into this. It's funny how long ago that was. Now he's a man collecting AARP. I feel like that was a long time ago. He's getting discounts on McDonald's coffee, this guy. I'm a man. I'm 40 was a long-ass time ago. Yeah, he's 60-something now. It's unbelievable how long that is. John's only 25. Yeah, in my brain, my maturity level only, Omar. Commander says Heinisch can move better than Mills. Yeah, but he's given up like 60 pounds of leverage to some of these guys by being under 300. That's the issue, Commander. He may move better, but you better get around and not let one of them guards that's 325 get his paws on you, or you're getting driven into the third row. That's the issue. All right, let's get into this. Obviously, thank you for being here. Thanks to everybody that joined the Saturday night show. That was really fun. A good mix of callers, a little new batch whenever we do a night show. It was really, really good. Thanks to everybody who was there. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. It really does help you guys. If you're sitting there, it really does help. Give it a thumbs up. Dr. John, good to see you. Glad you're safe with all the travel. Twitter, search bar Always Irish. Always Irish Inc. Emails Always Irish ND@gmail.com. Audio only. Anywhere you want it, you can get it. If you don't want to see my face, nobody blames you. How do you think I feel my whole life? Buzz's girlfriend. Woof. Wolftastic.com, bro. Call in lines 312-900-8815. Dialed up. Tell Uncle Yanni Boy all you've heard and seen. Notre Dame Fighting Irish brought to you by Sports Illustrated. Read all about it. We got articles every day of your life. Patreon.com/Always Irish. He the former captain. He the leading tackler. Mike Goolsby and myself breaking it all down. We're doing Monday Night Raw tonight. We're going to go 1 hour later. We're going to go from 7, starting at 7. We're going to start at 8 tonight. Mike was out of town, out of state for the holidays, got a long drive back. I got to let him get settled in. I don't want to rush him. We're going to push it back to 8 o'clock. Should be a good one with all we have going on. So that's going to be fun to do. It's always good to see what Mike thinks. And on some of the news, I try and not talk to him about it before we go live, because it's a much better entertainment product when we bring up things for the first time together live, rather than know what each other thinks and all that stuff. Okay. So I just think that is, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So that's what we got. Welcome in, welcome back, folks. Update on the schedule before we get into things. We went over the Monday Night Raw. Tuesday morning, so tomorrow morning, I'm going to post the video with the preview and my official prediction for the game. That's going to go out tomorrow morning as a standalone video. Here's what else we're going to do. Wednesday morning, it's a Wednesday. I'm going to be full of anxiety. We're just going to do the normal show on Wednesday morning. So everybody could be hungover and whatever, and we're going to do our show 9 to 11 in the morning as a pregame show for all the playoff games and Notre Dame's game. And then we'll watch all the games. And then after Notre Dame's game, really late, we'll go live because we have to. What do you mean? Just because it's late, I'm not going to do it? No. Psych your mind, bro. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to double this up on Wednesday. Morning show like regular. And then we're going to do the night show. And it's just going to be a late night since we have the late game and it's starting really, really late. So that's going to be our schedule. So let's address this now. Really weird dynamic. We're a couple days from a huge Notre Dame game, and all everybody wants to talk about on social media is the quarterback transfer rumors. My information, here's what I think. Everybody's got a million sources. I think there is smoke to some of this, but that's about it. There is smoke to it. It is true that Notre Dame's sniffing around a couple of these guys. as protective collateral in case Carr's elbow thing isn't quite solved the way they want or are comfortable with or whatever. So I believe there is some truth to this, but that's about it. Anything past the idea that they are sniffing around is too far. Anybody saying that it's totally not true at all, that they're even investigating this, that ain't right either. So the truth is somewhere right in the middle. Nothing's a done deal, but I do think it is wrong for people to tweet. I talked to somebody and they said none of this is real at all. That ain't true either. So that's where I'm at on it. Everyone has their own sources. Believe who you want. I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Oh, John, so-and-so on this board said this. Good for them. I don't care. Everybody has different sources, and then we'll see what happens. The race to be first with news now has overcome the desire to be accurate. And you see that in politics. You see that in current events, whatever it is. So many people want to be first with something. The accuracy comes later. I believe the truth is right in the middle. There is something going on with them exploring this. And there's no more information than that. Nothing's a done deal. Nothing's for sure. So that's kind of where I think this is. And I think some of it has to do with some of the Carr thing. Is it for depth pieces? Absolutely not. On this, I was told it's got to be a home run or they're not doing it. Not a project, not a Sammy Hartman, not a depth guy. This is big time game hunting. And that's what I think is going on. So, but I don't care. Everybody has different sources. I don't care. And so you could believe who you want to believe, whatever board, whatever source you think. I don't know. I have seen wildly different reporting on this. So whatever, man. I don't care. Everybody can believe whatever they want to believe. And it doesn't matter to me. I'm not here to prove anybody right. I'm just telling you what I think it is from the people I talk to. And then we go from there. So I just think the timing on that is weird. We're 2 days before this game, and that's the talking point. I don't love that. But all day yesterday, that was all anybody wanted to talk to me about online. And so I don't know. That's where we're at. And so I think the truth is somewhere in the middle there. But my understanding is it's not a depth guy and it's not a project. It would have to be a guy that's like bona fide proven. So I don't know what you guys think of that. I don't think that was Notre Dame's plan, but I think there were lingering concerns about that elbow, and that changed the calculation. So if you want to be like, why were they saying they weren't going to do this? And now I think it has something to do with that injury. And everybody's got to admit, injuries change calculation. So that's kind of where I think we're at with this. So let's do a couple chats, and then I'm going to give it to the calls. Man, this is an important week. Here we go. Commander, with all the praise given to Freeman and the contract extension for beating lower level mid teams, I'm going to enjoy seeing Georgia beat Notre Dame and the clowns try and blame Kelly. I mean, you're going way hard out there, Luke. It's just way too much, man. Did you log out as Ronald McDonald and log back in as Commander? That's a lot. Like, you're way out there, bro. Like, that is just like, you're a Notre Dame fan. That's way out there. Tom Frawley's, he's about to go mental. The anti-Notre Dame talk and the negativity for the Georgia fans and the national media is driving me mad. Can't wait for this game and Notre Dame's decisive victory. A lot of the people I'm talking to expect this to be a close game. I do admit I don't follow the national college football media circuit very close anymore. I just don't value what they say a lot. So I don't watch a lot of that stuff or see those shows. Mikey Poles, Georgia's the most battle-tested team in the entire playoffs. Kirby's been there before. However, they're beatable. Freeman factor mixed with some year 3 magic. I like it. That's kind of how I see it. I don't think you could argue. Kirby, he's been there. He's done that. He knows how to prepare for these moments. Whatever. We've gone over all that. Like, you can't question any of that. But the facts show in their record some vulnerability. So I think it's true to have. Both. Waiting to see how Kirby makes the dogs the victim this time. The world's always against them dogs. Give me them dogs. It's It's funny. I mean, that's his motivational thing. Everybody's counting Georgia out. Bro, you're the number one recruiting team almost every year. Nobody's counting you out of anything, man. Like, I'm sorry, Kirby. You got to find a different angle. You recruit number 1, 2, or 3 every single year. Nobody's counting you out. The haters and pessimists in the chat. These are the games to get your hopes up and go all in for. These opportunities do not come around every day. Now's the time to be loud and proud. It's tough. I just think it's tough, man. I understand some of the emotional protection going on of leaning the negative way. I understand it. I have been that guy before, especially in the Kelly era when all these games were guaranteed losses. It was just a matter of if it was going to be really embarrassing or not. I'm sorry. That was my default. And so I needed to change. Jay Carr, can we get a candle lit at the grotto for the retirement of Sweaty Mike? So was the story that when he had the baby, he had to retire the streaming and the online video gaming because he didn't have the time? It's kind of sad because the Sweaty Mike name is perfect and I like it. Like, I know he can't change his official On3 Twitter profile to Sweaty Mike, but like, that's a classic nickname. But I think, man, you have that baby around and it eats into your free time. And between the football and the streaming, maybe you had to give something up. John might have walked 20 miles just by pacing in the parking lot. Listen, big game John is a lot different than John at his tailgate in September against Central Michigan and Miami, Ohio. These are very, very different things. And a lot of you figured that out the hard way. Not my normal self and not afraid to admit it. And so that's just the way it is. Freeman had chances to win big games. He's just failed at this point. He has won his last 7 top 25 matchups. So whatever you want to count that as, go for it. But he has literally won his last 7 top 25 matchups. And I know you're going to say, yeah, but who are they against? None of those teams ended up being any good, blah, 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 blah. It's almost turning into like the Notre Dame haters, where if you don't play Ohio State and Georgia and Alabama each 3 times in a year, you don't play anybody. I'm sorry, but the fact is he's won his last 7 top 25 matchups. You aren't getting that out of a Kelly Notre Dame team, that's for sure. It's not an opinion, that's a fact. That's not an opinion. That is a statistical fact in the history books. You weren't getting that. Mark with glasses. It's weird because OG Always Irish Senior is cool as a cucumber. Mark, he is mellowed with age. Let's put it that way. My father has mellowed with age. My earliest Notre Dame memories are Boston College 93, and I've never seen my dad as in my entire life, I've never seen my dad as mad. I'm still traumatized. I've never seen him as mad as that moment. It's one of my earliest Notre Dame moments is his reaction to that sequence at the end and the penalty and all this stuff. I'll never forget it. He has mellowed with age, but he used to be just like me. But he's mellowed out a little bit. Jay Carr. I'm going to get through these chats. We'll go to the calls. Give it to you guys. Most coaches in year 3 are not trending in the right direction. BK at LSU, Venables, Cristobal, Fickle, Freeman and Lanning are the only 2 going in the right direction. There are some, after this season concludes, that is a discussion we're going to talk about is where are all these year 3 coaches and where are they trending? Sid, I love Marcus Freeman. Just can't believe ND has improved so much with so many injuries. Great job by the entire staff. They've been able to do the next man up thing better than I thought they would ever be able to do the next man up thing, and they haven't lost a game since having to do it. Can you run that out deep into this playoff, or the team's just getting too good that this is going to break the dam at some point? It's one injury too many, and Notre Dame you can't keep up. That is the big question the rest of the way is it one too many injuries finally, or are you able to get it done? C. Jones, hoping Denbrock and Golden have their best game plans of the year. This is why a younger guy like Marcus Freeman brings in these established old heads to run each side of the ball. These are those moments where all of that experience and all that they've been through and all that they've seen and all their coaching stops or whatever, This is where that needs to pay dividends. These guys are two of the highest paid coordinators around to prepare for this moment and put our guys in a position to succeed. This is where those guys pay the biggest dividends. Commander, Indiana game means you beat a scrub team that was blown out by Ohio State, and IU only defeated bottom feeders. That's what that means. I understand the sentiment that Indiana isn't like the best team in the playoff and all that, but you still have to assign some level of value and importance to Notre Dame winning their first playoff game in school history and Freeman winning his first playoff game. That still has to matter, regardless of who it's against. Regardless of the name of that opponent, Notre Dame getting that first playoff win off their shoulders and Freeman getting the first one off his back is a big deal and is valuable, and it shows progress. Not as much progress as making it to the championship or winning the championship. I am not, save your little typing. I'm not saying, oh, it's fine if we lose now. I'm not saying any of that. But I'm sick of people saying Indiana's the biggest game ever, and then right when you win it doesn't mean anything anymore. You can't do that. Everybody talked about what a big game it was. Big game it was. Now you win it, and everybody's like, it doesn't matter. That bothers me. That bothers me. It's got to have value. It's an important piece of Notre Dame history that's in the books forever now. It's got to have value. The rotate $5 holler. Any truth to the rumor of Milroe taking a visit to ND? He would fit Denbrock's quarterback preference. If true, maybe he could bring some wide receivers. I kind of covered that. I believe there's something going on there, but there ain't no promises or guarantees, but I think there's something going on there. That's my information. I'm sticking to it. I don't care what sources you have. Believe whoever you want to believe. Believe whatever backboard. Believe whoever says they have a source close to the program. But I've seen 10 different rumors, all totally different. Somebody wrong. Somebody wrong. Rodney, $2 holler, just win. I like that. That's some intellect on a Monday morning. Steven with the $5 holler. We're winning this effing game. I like that. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. Ryan Smith, $5 holler. Could Buckner get another look in the spring QB competition, assuming one of Angeli or Minchie leaves? Would rather spend NIL on D tackle than a quarterback. I just think that ship has sailed, man. I just think that ship has sailed. I really do. Why, Mike? Why are people saying you retired the nickname? I see it right here, Sweaty Mike TV. I don't know. Why are people saying you retired it? Did you quit streaming and beating up on all those kids at night on them video games or what? John throws his controller when he loses. Bro, I could do video games up till like PlayStation 2, bro. And then it became too many buttons and you got to be an engineer scientist to play the game. I did retire. Couldn't get anyone to watch. I will never get rid of the name. It's just a good representative. And for Halloween one of these years, you should just like dump a bucket of water on your head so it looks like you're sweating. That's what you should do for Halloween. Dump some water on your head and walk around and just be like, who are you? I'm Sweaty Mike. Like, what do you mean? I'm dripping. But dude, I could do video games till literally about the PlayStation 2 controller. And once we got beyond that, it was beyond me, man. I just couldn't do it. It was so frustrating. I don't have a brain to be able to do all this stuff, man. You try and play one of those games where you like a war game or something, bro. Forget it. I'm getting lit up in 2 seconds. I can't even figure out what to hit to run around. And I'm out. It's unbelievable. You got to be a scientist to figure this out. And you know what else pisses me off too? Now that we're going on this, thanks a lot, Sweaty Mike. Now I'm going down this road. You know what pisses me off too? You got all these kids in society now, young kids. They got no manners. They got no social interaction skills. They got no respect for their elders or anything. But a 5-year-old could sit there and do a controller and do whatever on a tablet and do all this stuff. But they can't even be a social member of society. But you got 7-year-olds that are experts with a controller. It bugs me. It bugs me. Pat, good to see you here. About to go golfing. Yeah, Pat's on. He ain't even in the state. Good for you, Pat. Good for you, Pat. Yeah, I have no idea what this is about at all. Everybody hear about my beef with John? It's going viral. I have no idea what that's about. I'm completely confused. I have no idea what that's about at all. Sometimes I don't know where this stuff comes from. I have no idea. Like, I have no idea what it's about. I've never heard of it. I have no problem. Like, me and Sweaty Mike are always cool. So I have no idea what that's about. Unless we're playing video games and then he's going to crush me. It's just, I'm not good at it, man. I'm just not good at it. But yeah, I have absolutely no idea what that's about. I don't understand. I'm completely confused. Rodney, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the show.
Hello, John.
Hey,
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Good morning, man. We're a couple days away. We're in the final countdown, Rodney. What's on your mind, buddy?
It's the final countdown.
Stop. Why? Listen,
you did it, not
that
me.
That
you did it.
No, that pisses me off because you stole my intro to the Wednesday morning pregame show, and now I'm mad at you for blowing my cover. You literally, I woke up today and I'm like, I'm doing the final countdown, and then I'm like, no, I'm going live Wednesday morning. I'm going to save it for then. You ruined it.
Dude, I'm Nostradamus, man. I just predicted your thing. You know what? I'll send you a soundbite where I do that. And then you can put that as your intro. That'll make you feel better.
Are you Nostradamus or Notre Dame? Those are two different people.
Notre Dame. Dude, how did I miss? No, I got to give you credit for that one.
Yeah, that's an easy one. That's an easy one.
Come on, Nostradamus. Dude, you need to do an Always Irish segment where you're dressed up like, Nostradamus. I got to see that one.
I like that.
Matter of fact, for your prediction thing, it'd be very cool to see you do that.
Yeah, it would be
doing a prediction video.
I need like one of them Swami hats or whatever, like, and it's in a fancy
like Chris.
Yeah,
like Chris Berman used to wear.
Yeah, that's what I need. So Rodney, we're a couple days away, man, and this is really getting interesting here. I feel like this is going to be a good battle, and I think Notre Dame can hang right in there, and it's going to be a good battle. I would be surprised if either team blew out the other one. I just think this is going to be a tough, hard-fought battle, and Notre Dame should be in it. That's what I think this is going to look like. What do you think?
My gut feeling is the same, but I mean, I honestly, man, as about 3-4 days ago, I had 5 different scenarios in my head, and I could see all of them coming true. I was thinking like back to Ohio State and Florida in 2006, and the opening kickoff. The only time in the history of football that 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl and then the team that was in the national title game ran the opening kickback for a touchdown. Let's see if trivia, if anybody out there knows the game I'm talking about. And both of those teams end up losing pretty convincingly. And if we know what those 2 teams were, it was the Bears with Devin Hester against the Colts. And then it was Ted Ginn Jr. with Ohio State against Florida, and they got their butts kicked. So I could see something like that happening where, like, Georgia comes out, because we have started slow at times this year. We've gotten better with that as the year's gone on. But then I could see Notre Dame just shock the world and just pull off Freeman's got him ready to go, and it's a shocker, and we win the game by like 3 touchdowns. I could also see a situation where, one thing I will say, we are going to come to play. We're not going to be ill prepared like a Kelly team. But I could see a scenario where, a couple of really bad things happen in the game, like a really horrible call by the official, or, 2 more guys go down, on our line or something, and then Georgia, starts pulling away or something. I could also see a classic that ends one way or the other, like an Alabama-Clemson matchup in those, 17, 18, 19 years or whatever it was when, they each took it down the wire. One team won the one year, the other team won the next. I could see one of those things. So, John, I'll be honest with you, man, but if I had to just, predict a score or whatever, dude, I'll be honest with you, man, here's the hard part for me, John. I think Notre Dame's ready for that next level. I do. I think they're ready to hit that next, like, go into that sort of bottom tier of elite status, kind of where Ohio State was for a few years, where they're like the third or fourth team in that rung of, like, but they weren't winning national titles, but they were like among those 3 or 4 teams that, like, you talked about all the time.
Do you have any worry that Notre Dame's just lost too much and maybe the Mills thing is just too much and you can't hang in there and it's just attrition adds up to where the dam gives way? Like, is there any of that worry? Because that would be my number one worry, would be that we get ran on north-south and then I think we lose. Like, that is the quickest path to victory for Georgia, is to be able to move Notre Dame north-south in the run game. And like,
John, I don't know. Do you also get the feeling? Yes, to answer your question, absolutely, 100%. And I'm thinking to myself, God, I would love to see this team right now at full capacity. Who's full capacity at this point in the year? But at near full capacity, it would be really interesting to see where this team would be. Having said that, they haven't shown yet to fall off. So
it's true.
It's like one of those things. I guess I'm just going to be fascinated to watch the game, because this is still new territory. Quarterfinal game is not something we've seen before. So this is new territory. But yeah, I'm very, very worried about that, man. I'm worried about the attrition. Just one too many injuries finally taking. And Kirby, dude, how many games has he been? Here's the thing, dude. Yes, Georgia can be beat. Yes, they're vulnerable. But how often are they vulnerable in a game like this, John, where they've had weeks to prepare?
Yeah.
You can make the argument it's too long. Maybe it is 24 days too long. Maybe. And I will say that is one thing I'm going to give Notre Dame maybe a little bit of the advantage in. They played just a couple weeks ago. Georgia hasn't played for 24 days. You could see that rear its head maybe in the first, quarter or two. And so I do like that aspect of it. I think the other X factor is Riley Leonard. I really think that, he's becoming such a leader. He reminds me so much, not necessarily in the way his body movement is, but just in the type of player he is. He reminds me so much of Tony Rice. Just a tremendous leader, tremendous runner, tremendous function in terms of the function of the offense. I mean, very, very quietly, Notre Dame has become one of the best offenses in the country. I know we've done it against whatever competition. I get that. But all those teams you see with all those, over the years with, 48 points a game or whatever, generally it's because they played 3 or 4 teams that were really inferior and they ran 60, 70 points on them. I mean, that's how you see that.
I think Riley Leonard's legs are a key to this. They're the 3 horsemen with our 2 backs and the quarterback. Riley Leonard on those option looks, the keeper looks, the RPOs, all that has got to be a big part of this if Notre Dame's offense is going to sustain drives. He's going to take hits. He's going to have to lay it all out on the line, risk that body, and get out there and go for it. He's a big part of what's going to make this offense work if it's going to work against a Georgia defense. I believe that.
Yeah, I think, man, I got 2 different scores in my head, and one's Georgia and one's Notre Dame. And for whatever reason, I couldn't get away from 29-24 Georgia or 20-16 Notre Dame. I don't know why those are the 2 scores I get in there, but
yeah,
I a few days ago it was 29-24 Georgia. I was thinking, I just was like, man, I think that's going to be another classic. Georgia and Notre Dame play each other tough, man. They just, that 17 and 18 games were great football. Or was that 17 and 19? I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
I think it was 17 and 19. Those were great games, man. So I think it's going to be another one. I think it's probably going to be another classic. But honestly, man, here's the thing. There's absolutely no, and I mean this. There's no shame if Notre Dame loses this game, but looks, like they're there. I mean, like, they played at a wire. They look like they're on the same level as Georgia. They just lose.
You're going to get pushback on that. You're going to get pushback on that.
I know, dude. But the point, what we're really trying to see as Notre Dame fans is Notre Dame finally arrived.
Yeah,
I think that's what we really need to know. Have they arrived? I don't think a lot of us necessarily planned on this team being a national title winner. And I know as the years gone on with all these flawed teams, it looks like, well, we could absolutely win it. We absolutely can. If they can beat Georgia, I got a really good feeling about the rest of the way.
Yeah, well, you should. Yeah, I think you should.
But John, here's the thing, and this is where I'm going to end it with this. And they absolutely could win that game. And I think Freeman's the other factor. The way he can motivate his team, get the most out of them. It's just Kirby's done that too, and Kirby's been there before, and he's won 2 national titles. How many national title games has he played in already? I don't even know. How many playoff games he played in? I don't even know. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
He's been so many. It's going to be a really, I mean, the biggest thing for me, I'm not going in this, I don't want to be completely let down if we lose. I just want to see a team that I'm proud of that literally shows me, okay, the future of Notre Dame, we're there now. We are now one of those teams. I feel like we are at this point. I just need to see it on the field. That's the biggest thing takeaway for me in this game is, are we going to look like we are now one of those top 4 or 5 elite teams every year? And that's what this game's going to show.
I think that's an interesting thing to think about, and I've been thinking about how to process that in my mind too. Rodney, thanks for the call, starting us off on Monday.
What it is, John, I don't want people – right on, man, I'll let you go right there. I just don't want people thinking if we play – I don't want to say our hearts out because we played with our hearts out before, but are we going to play like we belong? If we play like we belong and we're like within a play of winning the game, and I don't know, we lose on a last-second field goal or something, whether it's one we miss, one we make, is that really going to mean we were that much worse if we lose? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, so you're saying if we win, we're that much better, we should feel great about ourselves, and if we lose, oh, we're just not. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, I get it. The 30-year bulge, big, like, New Year's Day, what are they called?
There's a lot of different ways to process this. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of different ways to process this. And the playoff being, you got to win 4 games. It's really, really interesting how you're going to process this through over how many games you win and what's success, what's failure, and all that. It's an ongoing changing calculation. Rodney, thanks for starting us off, man. Enjoy New Year's Eve and talk to me before the game, okay?
Oh, yeah, we'll talk on Wednesday. Take care,
Have a good one, buddy. Thanks for the donation. Freeman should wear a visor this game to troll Kirby. If he really wanted to troll Kirby, he would do his haircut like Kirby, not do the visor, but do the haircut. Kirby's like the only guy in America that can pull off that haircut without regularly getting made fun of because of what he does for a living and how good he is at it. Tell me I'm wrong. If anybody at your job had Kirby's haircut, he would get made fun of. But when you're like one of the best guys at what you do, you can do whatever you want with the goofy haircut. I don't see him being I don't see Freeman being a big visor guy. I don't see him being a big visor guy. Oh, man. We're off to a rousing start today. Chicago's very own Tom Frawley. What's going on? Welcome to the show, my friend.
Johnny, I am. I've been staying away from a lot of the.
I've noticed,
boards.
Tom. I've noticed you've gone kind of quiet here since the holiday, and I thought about that, and then I thought Tom's got to do what he's got to do to stay sane for a few days.
Well, I thank God I went and saw the new Bob Dylan biopic, which I recommend wholeheartedly to anybody that. It's just, even if you don't like them, go see the movie. It's fabulous. I got away from it. I walked away. I was with family.
Good for you.
60 yesterday.
Happy birthday.
My thanks. My pals took me out, so it was good. But I did catch that Danny Kanell podcast the other day with the 3 idiots that were advocating sending in the goons and taking out Riley Leonard. Did you catch any of that?
I did not. I admit I'm not really tuned into what those national guys say unless it hits Twitter and I see it. I'm not seeing it. I don't watch
Twitter.
those.
It was a 247 broadcast of some description. I don't know, but it popped up on my feed. A friend of mine said, "You got to watch this." So all the anti-Notre Dame, the national anti-Notre Dame, they don't belong. They lost to NIU, da-da-da-da-da. We've heard it all, right? But they keep burying it. So now I see in the chat today that somebody mentioned that the entire SEC nation is, rooting for. You know what? I hope there's 12 Notre Dame fans in the Sugar Bowl. And I hope Notre Dame goes in there and kicks the living piss out of them. And just runs the ball down and shuts them all up. I'm tired of it. When are they going to get respect? Obviously, they got to win a game. But why would you be afraid of this Georgia team? There's nothing to be afraid of. They've got good running backs, but they're not breakaway speed. I'll tell you what. If you ask Kirby Smart, would you like to exchange running backs? He'd do it in a New York second, right? This is the fastest defense I've ever seen, ever at Notre Dame. And I've been watching them since 1969. They cover the field. I don't know why people are so afraid of this Georgia team. I understand the last 35 years. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is a team with destiny. You guys got to look at the facts.
How concerned are you about losing Mills? And like, is that the final thing that makes the dam crumble in and it's one injury too many?
Right now,
how concerned are you about? That's a real question, Tom. That's not overly negative.
It is a real question.
What do you think?
Here's what they've got. They're going to roll them in and roll them out. They're going to use everything they have, and I trust Al Golden. He's got these kids where they want to be. The only way that we're going to be able to stop them with consistency is if the linebackers are gap sound. They have to stay eye disciplined and stay gap sound, because those guys are not going to be able to. Those running backs are not going to be able to get to the perimeter on Notre Dame. So they got to stay in, but they got to stay locked in between the tackles. That's where they're going to beat Georgia. Because if you look at Notre Dame's stats coming down, people have, even Indiana ran. There were instances where they ran the ball on them. There were Al Golden's defense is always going to give up a little bit to take away stuff, right? So, but if you look, Notre Dame's tackles for losses, they're not great tackles for losses, right? You're not 6-7 yard tackles for losses.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stops at the line of scrimmage and at 1 and 2 yards. So that's constantly putting that quarterback and that defense behind the chains.
Yeah, it's
keeping them in that 3rd and long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Listen,
I like
Tom,
Al Golden playing those percentages.
I like your optimism. I like the positivity, but I am just going to say I totally understand some Notre Dame fans. Default setting is misery, and that's just they're expecting it and hoping it's not. I just think it's a defense mechanism, Tom. And a lot of people are, some people are trolling with it, but I do mean it. Some people, it's an honest to God Notre Dame defense mechanism because they've been hurt so many times. They want to set that as the default and then be pleasantly surprised rather than have their hopes up and be let down again. And I do understand that scar tissue that I wish you saw, it's real.
Well, like the last caller said, he was back and forth like a fiddler's elbow. He didn't, he's given both sides of the, well, if they play him tight and then they lose by a field goal, they're not going to lose by a field goal. I'm going to tell you that right now, because this game is going to be won in the 4th quarter, and it's going to be won by Notre Dame's defense in the 4th quarter. Yeah. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Oh, I like it. I like that a lot. They're going to
shut that quarterback down. And I hope, and I'm praying to God that Notre Dame, the team, saw Danny Cannell and they saw this tripe where they're openly advocating to taking Riley Leonard out.
Yeah, I did see that part. I did see that part.
Oh, the one guy even said, well, if he slides for a first down and then, maybe trying to go out of bounds, they send in the goons and headhunt them.
Yeah.
That's those classless pieces of shit in the SEC. You know what they are? They're afraid, and they're goddamn babies if they say that. That's
Tom.
A cowardice act. And I'm glad you lost the Civil War, you sons of bitches, and they're still fighting the Civil War. You'll see them down there with their rebel flags.
Tom,
I can't stand
God bless you.
I hate that whole mentality.
God bless you, Tom. Never change, man. I wish you a happy birthday. I love it when you get worked up, but I also don't want to see you get worked up at the same time because you're such a nice, genuine person. I don't like seeing you worked up. I don't like seeing you all worked up sometimes. You don't deserve that.
No, I know. It's just, that's part of you're part of my therapy. At least I got it off my chest.
Yeah.
Now I can go about my day.
I'm going to start billing insurance, Tom. I'm going to start billing everybody's insurance and get me a little therapy bill here. Make that graduate degree in psychology work for me. I'm going to start billing people. That's a good answer.
Oh my God.
God bless you, Tom.
I've been down there. Here, listen, I was at the 92 Sugar Bowl. So, Notre Dame 17-point favorite. Florida was 17-point favorites. Bourbon Street was loaded. All it was Gator fans doing the Gator chop.
Yeah.
Well, when Jerome Bettis ran wild, we had Bourbon Street to ourselves. They got in their Winnebagos and their campers, and they left town like a bunch of vagabond gypsy hillbillies that they were. Go on back to trailer trash, baby. We'll see you later. Don't let them get your ass on the way out.
Vagabond hillbillies sounds like a country band. Somebody needs to create that band.
Yes, takes one to know one.
Oh my God, Tom!
Tom,
I love you, man. I love you so much. Anything else on the way out? You need to go relax. I want peace. I want you to have peace in your life.
Yeah, give me 3 minutes in the Notre Dame locker room before kickoff. I'll have them ready to go.
Oh, Tom, never change, man. I love you so much. Never change. I wish you a happy birthday. And let's talk again. Let's talk again or text before the game, okay? I'll be live Wednesday morning, too.
Take care.
Pre-game show Wednesday morning. Be there, be square. God, I love Tom. He's one of the most genuine guys, and he loves Notre Dame so much. It's beautiful. Commander says, I seen where Snoop Dogg was saying this game is going to be a blowout. Your thoughts? The only thing blown out is some of Snoop's brain cells from all the chronic sticks he's been ingesting for 40 years. Here's the other thing, you guys. Here's the other thing. All of the national stuff. Sometimes I'm like, it's frustrating because these guys say crazy things. Cam Newton's up there looking like a 1976 pimp in Harlem, and he's talking crap about Notre Dame. And it's like, sometimes it's almost like if you bring it up, it gives credence to what they're talking about when it gets made a big deal. Then everybody goes to look at what they said, and then it raises their views, and it's almost like positive reinforcement for the take or whatever. Man, I just don't value what these national guys say anymore. I'm busy enough with my own thing. I just don't like get hung up on this guy said that or this guy said that. I don't. Whenever Notre Dame's involved, it's an opportunity to jump on and get some views or whatever, because Notre Dame's a lightning rod. And the ESPN people say in the thing, I know that we don't get paid to talk about them and we don't like them, but you're going to have to bring them up in some way. And then they do it or whatever. So I don't know. Just go win the game and shut people up. And even if you do win the game, people are going to say, oh, well, they didn't have their quarterback, blah, 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 blah. That's just the way it's going to go. Oh, boy. Here we go. 559 up on the line. What's up, baby?
Yeah, what's up, John? Hold on. Give me a second. You know me. I'm at work. Putting in my time. Getting ready for this New Year's. Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
All right, my boy.
What's up?
Look, man.
There you go.
Too much back and forth.
Yeah, now you're good.
It's time to play this game. It's time to get these jitters. It's time to get these people something to cheer about. And Marcus Friedman, Al Golden, and Dan Block. This is your game, guys. This is what us fan base has been waiting for.
Yeah.
And you know what? Stephen A. Smith, who is he? I really want to know, who is he? Did he ever play football? Did he ever put on the pad? Did he ever put on a helmet? No. And the other bootleg guy that he has over there looking like the Bronx Tail, one of the captains of the Bronx Tails, I forgot his name. Who is he? He's nobody. They're nobody to me. I have more respect for a football player than anything else that knows that played the game before. Other than that, all these ESPN so-called analytical and experts, they're worth they were 2 cents to me, my boy. I don't care. And Cam Newton, man, my boy, you looking like a fool over there with the Pink Panther and all that stuff. So shut up, man. This is where we need to go. This is where we need to rise up and rise to the occasion. And you know what? There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's always going to be one winner, guys, as long as our team shows up to play. And that's all I really care about, guys. And then, I'm tired of all this. This is why I just really hope that our running game shows up and everything that Marcus Freeman has been building comes to fruition. And if not, we're gonna find out where we need to still build on. Other than that, there's a lot to grow. There's still a lot to learn. And there's a lot to be proud of, John. I'm so fed up right now. Like, I'm tired of it. Right now, I got all these guys from LSU and Georgia and Alabama, co-workers of mine, ex-football players. Boy, man, today was just been smacking the mouth from the moment I walked in to the moment I'm going to leave, man. But this is the time, guys, where we got to rise up to the occasion. And all Notre Dame fans, let's I'm glad. The last caller, I'm glad to see an OG like that talking his ish.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Marcus Freeman has given us proud to be doing that. You know what? We know what we have. They don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different animal right there. And that's what I'm really proud of. And it's just beautiful to see all Notre Dame Nation, different generations, finally feel proud of this team. Is there jitters? There's nervous wrecks? Yes, there is. There's a lot of that going on. You know what I mean? But other than that, I mean, there's still a lot to go, guys. There's still a lot. We got our quarterback. And man, bro, I see what you guys talk about in Twitter. Everybody talking about, I have a source. Bro, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up, man. Like you don't have no source, bro. Because if you were a source, you wouldn't be where you're at, right?
Yeah,
so
that's a good point.
Whoever is our quarterback, we're going to embrace him and we're going to take him. And another thing is, too, you need to have a call-in show with Goolsby. I got some questions I would like for him to answer. And Mike Senior with you, all three of you together. And are you going to have Pat with you on Thursday or Wednesday night?
Am I going to have who with me?
Pat, my buddy, Pat.
I don't know. Maybe he's on vacation, man. I got to see. I don't know where he's at. He's on vacation golfing somewhere. So it's going to depend on if he's back in the state or not. Yeah, I got to check with him. Good question.
Yeah. Let's check in with him real quick and tell him that tee time can go off a little bit later because we definitely want to see him feeling himself after we get this victory.
Yeah, it's man, this is going to be exciting, man. And I understand the positivity. I also understand people that have anxiety. I just know I'm happy to be in this moment. I am just really happy to be in this moment. And Notre Dame's on the big stage, and this is what it's all about. And I think it's going to be a close, competitive game, and we go from there. So maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I know the year's almost over, and in this year, 2024, we look back on what we're grateful and what we're looking forward to in the upcoming year. And John, I just want to tell you, thank you for coming to my life. Thank you for allowing me to call your show.
No problem.
God bless you for everything you have done to me personally. Just to even been on my rampage on my passion and love for Notre Dame. I'm not the only one. We all love Notre Dame. Everybody that calls has that passion. But it just feels real good that we finally have a voice and you allowed us to be us, you know, and you never changed on who you are in 2025 coming up. And I wish you nothing but more success and growth and prosperity and humility, you know what I mean? Because the biggest problem with a lot of people that make it to the big time or finally get some kind of recognition like over there, half dome mountain hairline, Stephen A. Smith has a big mouth. That's all you got, my boy, is a mouth. And you know what? You have a purpose of a mouth. You have a purpose of a voice. Yeah, and you're for the people. And that's why the people of Notre Dame loves you.
Thank you, man. That means the world to me. Thanks a lot. And listen, if you want to call back in Wednesday morning, I'll do a pregame show. Feel free. But it means the world to me that you take some time off. Step aside from work to call me and touch base, man. Thanks a lot. Anything else?
Nah, like I told you, bro. I told you from day one. When it comes down to Notre Dame, I'm ready to go.
I love it, man.
Any place, anywhere. I'm ready. I could take a side step of my job responsibility just to talk about Notre Dame football, my guys. And let's go, Irish. Let's do what we got to do, and let's kick some ass.
Let's do it, man. I love that guy. Thank you so much. And here's the other thing, you guys. Pat, stop that. Get back to the golf course, Pat. Don't come in here and start messing everything up that way. Number one is, we have done a couple shows where it's been me, Goolsby, and Singer And it's really entertaining because you have me and Goolsby out here and you kind of have Singer in the middle. And then, but it's just like me and Singer's kind of like trying to navigate with me and him. It's always been entertaining. And I liked jumping on Blue and Gold last year before the Ohio State. It was fun. So yeah, that's always entertaining. And we've done a couple of those on this show too, with the three of us, or me and Singer too. That's always a good time when you intermingle all those personalities. Here's the other thing too. Some people are saying like, oh, it's too loud when you're working and you're coming in here and calling and it's loud and whatever. Do you know how much that means to me that a guy that is doing actual work for a living today is taking time to step aside and call my show and listen on hold and do all that? Like, I can't be mad at that I hear beeping and construction or whatever. God bless that man that he's thinking of me and taking that time. I love it. So I appreciate that. That's a good thing. Here we go. $10 holler from Ryan Elliott. Sweaty palms. I don't know if you did that on purpose or not. Sweaty palms from now until at least 1 a.m. Thursday morning. From now, I'm so mad at Rodney that he stole my final countdown because that's the introduction for Wednesday morning's pregame show. And he blew it for me, and I'm mad. $10 holler from the Ohio Pod. Gracie update. She's making a complete healing in his home, which is a miracle. Thank you once again for all your prayers. We're celebrating Christmas tonight with her. Go Irish. What great news, man. Maybe those candles at the grotto we've been talking about, maybe they do carry some extra weight there. I'm really glad to hear that, Ohio Pod. And I think he said he got mad and had a big rant on his show the other night. God bless you. God bless you. I love it. He said he got a little John Kennedy in him. I like it, man. You're coming into your own with this thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And here's my biggest takeaway of Notre Dame's postseason run. If you blew it, if you don't win the championship, however much further Notre Dame makes it, but falls short of hoisting the trophy. And even if they win the trophy, this journey, this playoff journey, needs to be a part of the ascent, not the top of the mountain. That is when you zoom out away from just the Georgia game and whatever, and you zoom out and you look at the big picture with the Freeman extension and everything going on, that is my biggest, that Veronica Vaughn. I just had to say it that way. That Veronica Vaughn. This needs to be a part of the journey up. This cannot be like Notre Dame has a good year and they made it this far and then you drop back or whatever. No. Zoom out from the immediacy of the Georgia game and the intensity of that situation. Zoom out. Pull back a few layers. That's my big takeaway. Is whatever this ends up being, it needs to be the start of Notre Dame's climb to being in the playoff every year and winning the first round game every year and moving on. And it's all about Sean, I'm not going there, but yeah. This all needs to be a part of that journey. It's all about like spins of the wheel, right? Like rolls of the dice. And this needs to be the beginning of Notre Dame planting their flag in the 12-team playoff and saying, get used to it. One of the at-large bids is coming to us. We're going to get a home game, whatever it is. That is the biggest takeaway for me when you zoom out. This has got to be the beginning of the ascent, not the top of the mountain for where this program is going. And with Freeman having the extension and the full authority and power of Bavakwa and Dowd that have bought into what he's doing, this needs to be the beginning of something, not the top. And that is my number one takeaway, whether Notre Dame wins or loses against Georgia. That is the bigger picture takeaway. Ohio podcast. Did you really have to say plant the flag? I didn't mean it in that way. I understand that's going to hit you different, Eric, given your situation. But I genuinely did not mean that as a dig. Eric's pregnant. Different Eric. But if we're doing the Billy Madison references, that makes perfect sense. Eric, but he gonna be a soccer player. That movie is so stupid, but I love it so much. I love it so much. It's so stupid. And every time you watch it, there's little things you pick up on that are so random and hilarious. It's just, I'm immature though. So you can't go by what I think. I'm immature and everybody knows it. Bruce Barry White on line 1. What's up, baby?
John, what's going on, man?
Oh, God, just hearing your voice has reduced my blood pressure 50 points, Bruce. It's soothing and I need it. I'm telling you, I need it. Thank you. What's up?
Nothing much, man. I'm listening to a lot of the callers and comments in the chat and whatnot. And it's interesting that a lot of them are saying that they don't feel like Notre Dame is getting the respect from the national sports media. And I would actually contend the exact opposite, because I consume a ton of national, mainstream, and independent sports media daily, because as you know, I do my own thing as well.
Yeah.
So I'm always all over this. And I believe I've told you this, I'm actually surprised and closer to even astounded at the amount of respect that the national and mainstream and independent sports media, even from guys that cover Georgia football, are getting, how much respect Notre Dame is getting in advance of this game. I'm really surprised. Like it is shocking to me, to the point that I almost would prefer that we were being disrespected more, so that we had more of that underdog. That underdog.
So Bruce, what leads to that? Does it just depend on what media you're consuming and who specifically? Like, and you are down south in SEC territory, and I'm not. Maybe that has something to do with it. But I have seen a lot of people that think it's going to be a close battle, and a lot of the Georgia people in my social media circle, even, I'm not seeing the normal amount of crap talking that comes with Notre Dame playing a top level SEC team. It feels to me that there's a little bit of a different level of respect for Notre Dame, but I'm also open to the idea that maybe some people aren't quite as sold on Georgia, and they have shown a couple vulnerabilities, and they have the quarterback thing. So I'm not sure whether it's crediting Notre Dame or if it's people realizing Georgia's a little bit vulnerable, even though they have a talented roster and a great head coach that has skins on the wall. But I'm seeing a lot of people that expect a tough battle, a close game. I don't know.
John, I think two things can be true. I think you hit the nail on the head on both of those things. There is a much increased level of respect for Notre Dame. There's a great deal of respect nationally for Marcus Freeman. That bodes well for him. People are talking about the level of physicality of the team. For instance, Kirby Smart, in one of his press conferences, he referenced Notre Dame's physicality on 7 different occasions within the same press conference.
Interesting.
That doesn't happen if you're doing just the normal coach speak. That doesn't happen. And so I'm looking at it, and again, you know, I've been listening to a bunch of Georgia podcasts. I've been listening to like Late Kick. I've been listening to On 3. I listened to Joel Klatt. Joel Klatt actually picked Notre Dame outright to win this game.
Ooh.
There are a lot of people across the sports media who are giving Notre Dame a lot of credit. And again, it's just so weird to me, because I'm used to, you know, the level of disrespect that we receive, that I would almost rather us be receiving that still, so that we can utilize that and say, hey, nobody believes in you. You got to go out there. You got to show them. You get mad. 4 quarters of FU football, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I wanted to comment on that. The other thing, I think it was the last call, I'm not sure, but it really irks me as someone who's been to journalism school and has worked in that profession. It really irks me when people who don't understand how it works get annoyed about sources. Let me explain this to you people, okay? If you have a source and that source wants to remain unnamed, you cannot go out there and publicly out your source. If you do that, you will never get another scoop.
That's how it works.
Source or any other.
Yeah, that's how it works.
How this works.
People don't like it though, Bruce. But I get it.
Reporters.
I get it though.
It doesn't matter what they like, John. That's not how it works. It doesn't matter what they like.
Yeah.
We cannot assume that because someone says, I've been told by sources, that they don't have a source. That's absurd. Yeah. Now, has someone ever done that? I'm sure. I'm quite sure.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that's not how it works. So it doesn't matter if people like it or not. it's stupid for people to come out and say, "Hey, name your source, name your source."
Yeah, I
That's
know.
not how this works.
Yeah,
And
it is really
so,
tough.
like, that hurts the hell out of me.
I understand, though, that people are like, well, if your source is that good, name it. It's like, bro, and then I don't have a good source anymore. What do you mean? Like, I get it. Yeah, I get it. It's like, it's like, if you want this to be the last piece of inside information any of us ever get, I could do that. You know what I mean? Like, but Bruce, here's the problem I have, though. All day yesterday, I see these tweets. Everyone says, I talked to a source close to the program, and they said, and it's opposite reporting. Somebody's source is either dead wrong or BSing you. So everybody's sources can't be right when they're saying totally opposite things. So somebody's talking out of their backside for credibility, or somebody thinks they have a source, but the source doesn't trust them enough to say the truth. There's a lot that goes into this. It's a complicated dynamic. But yeah, it's a frustrating thing. It's like, well, prove it. Who's your source? It doesn't go that way.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that at all. But yeah, so there's that, and the other thing was, like, people get upset because Stephen A. Smith, talks badly about Notre Dame. And first of all, Stephen A. Smith is a basketball guy. We know that. He knows that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Stephen A. Smith doesn't know what he's talking about. Again, he's a basketball guy. And this is a guy that was a longtime NBA beat reporter, a guy that was a sports columnist at one of the major dailies in one of the major cities in this country, the Philadelphia Inquirer. So it also irks me when people say that, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But at the end of the day, here's the deal, right? Stephen A. Smith now works for ESPN. We know who ESPN is heavily influenced by when it comes to college football. Okay, we know that. So when you hear the guys on ESPN talking what they're talking, they're playing the SEC party line. We know what it was. So let's just accept that for what it is and deal with it. We know that when Stephen A. was talking that stuff about Notre Dame, it was for the show. We know he's not learned when it comes to that. We know that when Paul Feinbaum talks what he talks, it's for the show because he's got his own show and his constituents are all these Deep South SEC people. He has to play to them. We know that. He knows that. But it is what it is. But last thing is, John, I'm really getting nervous. Not nervous necessarily about the game, but nervous in anticipation of the game. I'm just so ready for it to happen. I need it to happen. I need the Irish to win so badly. As you know, I picked Georgia just because of the coaching disparity. I think that Kirby is better in these moments. He's proven it.
He's proven it.
Yes, right. But listen, I would love to be wrong. I want to be wrong so badly. You know that. I need this. Yeah. You know how I feel about this, John. But,
I know. I love the way you react to Notre Dame and SEC is the way I react to like Michigan and Notre Dame or anything with Brian Kelly. Yeah. Like, and I could totally relate. It just, I love you for that. And you know what I love about it the most, Bruce? I've known you for many, many years now. You're a close friend. Yeah. What I like about it most is you are generally so like consistent with your emotions and your logic, and you think things really like you are so consistent with your logic. I love when you get riled up. It's like, come over to the dark side, buddy. Let it rip, let it out. Like, because you're such a consistent level, rational thinker in your day-to-day life and the way you run your family and work and your perspective. And to see you getting worked up warms my heart. It makes me feel like maybe I'm not the only weirdo around you. I like it. I like it a lot.
I hear you, John. I hear you. But yeah, I just wanted to call in and share those thoughts, man. I appreciate all you guys. If I don't get on Wednesday, everybody have a happy New Year. Well, Wednesday's the show, so everybody have a happy and safe New Year, and I hope everybody is blessed going into 2025.
Oh, thanks a lot,
so much
Bruce.
For accepting my call, John.
Oh, no problem, man. Have a good one, and send my regards to the family. What a nice guy, man. Been to the tailgate a couple times. What a nice guy. Stephen A. Here's the thing about Stephen A. too. One of the things people don't like about Stephen A. is that he like yells, and it's like, what are you yelling about? Like what loud noises, and he's bro. I am not. One thing I do not lack is self-awareness. I am not in the position to criticize anyone that does media about them yelling and going on rants and it being annoying. I know that. That's what I do. So of all my complaints about Stephen A, one of them isn't like, why is he so loud and yelling all the time? I am not the person that is allowed to criticize that. And I'm fully aware of it. I am fully aware of that. 259 in the chat. That is good for a Monday morning. Please hit subscribe if you haven't and give the video a thumbs up. I'm bad at asking for that, but it's something you need to do. Give it a thumbs up, and it tells YouTube more people want to see this. They'll put it in front of more people. Thank you. Savage, I'm open to this. I am very, very open to this. John has a better hairline than Stephen A. Thank you. At least I have a better hairline than somebody. Dog, I have talked about this many, many times. I have written about this many times. We struggle in the regular season many times, then turn it on. You'll see what we do. Every time I've brought up the losses you guys have this year, 8 overtimes against Georgia Tech, 200 and something yards allowed rushing against UMass, I believe. Anytime I bring this up, John's awareness of his hairline is top shelf. Bro, it's a rough one, man. It's a rough one. And I know what I'm working with, okay? I'm just glad Kelly went to LSU, or it'd be whatever it is now, it would be receding more than the ocean tide. You kidding me? Son of a buck. God, that feels good to get out. Every time I do it, I just feel the stress leaving my body. It feels so good. I'm totally open to the idea of a Georgia person saying, you got to understand we're in this grind of the SEC, whatever. Some of these teams we know we're way more talented than, and we're just not that zoned in that day. And it's a sleepy 11 a.m. start somewhere. We don't care, whatever. I totally understand the concept that Kirby, with a few weeks to prepare for a playoff moment, is different than playing a no-name SEC team or UMass or whatever else. I totally acknowledge that. So I do think it's fair to bring up what's on the record on the vulnerability side, but I am not dismissing the fact that Kirby knows how to prepare his teams for this kind of moment, and they're going to be prepared and dialed in. And I think that is totally, totally fair. Indy wishes Kirby was their John. Look at this name. God, look at this. Where's my mouse? Anyways, look at this. Just the name alone. John, SEC Smith. I think John's one of those guys I was talking about in the Georgia tailgates that gets on all fours and goes to the opposition. You're walking. You see those videos? And it's always, here's the other thing, you guys. I love this. It's whenever I see those videos of the Georgia dudes that are walking by a tailgate, and one of them gets on all fours and the other one acts like they're pulling the leash back and they bark at the opposing fans. Whenever I see it, it's always the same kind of group of guys. And it's those SEC dudes that that have lawyer dads. They're wearing the Sperry slip-ons with the short khaki shorts, and they're all put together. And dad has money. It's always the same thing, man. It's always the same group of guys. It's just, their dad's a lawyer in the South and they're paying their tuition and they're and the other fans are like, whoa, I'm just trying to eat a hot dog and have a beer. And they're on all fours. It cracks me up. It's always the same type of guy that does it. I've never seen it with any other group other than those frat guys from down south. They're all wearing the same outfit, the same shorts, the same shoes. Their dads have money. It's all the same thing. And they're just, give me the dogs. I got to say, you guys, I might have to start following George or something. Do you know how much fun I have when I say, give me the dogs? I want to talk about the dogs. You know how much fun that is? It's killing my throat. But do you know how much fun it is to go, give me the dogs? I want to talk about them dogs. And then it wanders into Coach O territory. I'm talking about the Georgia Notre Dame game. Talk about what's going to happen up there head to head. I'm talking about some smackdown football. About the Notre Dame from the north. Talk about them dogs down south. Oh, I'm killing my voice. All right, you know what time it is. Time to clear the sinuses. I'll be back in about 10 seconds, and we'll go back to the calls. In the meantime, give it a thumbs up if you don't mind. Thanks for being here. I just need 1 minute, not even 10 seconds. Give me the dogs. Give me the dogs. There we go. That wasn't too bad. I'm just telling me, give me the dogs. 419, you're up on the line. What's up?
Johnny boy, what's going on?
I'm talking about them dogs. That's what's going on. That's what's up.
Well, that's what's up, man. You know, I have to hit you up, man, from the Toledo, Ohio.
I know, man. You know what, man? You calm me down. Like Bruce, your voice just has a way of calming my blood pressure, and I appreciate it.
Hey, it's all good. I'm glad I can help somebody.
Yeah, I'll take it. I need all the help I can get. So what are you thinking about this game, man? I think it's going to be a hard-fought battle, and Notre Dame should be right in there with the chance. I would be surprised if it went any other way. That's my opinion. I don't know. Am I being naive?
No, not at all. I'm just ready for the game, man. I'm really proud of this team, man, with all the injuries they've had. I'm really just proud of them. And I'm not giving up Wednesday night. I still was going to kick Georgia's ass, but I'm really proud of this team, man. We are a top 8 program, and we're here. I feel like we're here now. So, and it's only going to get better. So, but I want this win Wednesday night. So,
yeah, me too.
I'm being patient.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting, man. This is what's exciting to me is this is all new territory. Like I'm looking at all of this as bonus time for all of us to be together, and that's one of the great things about the expanded playoff. Yes, it minimizes the regular season somewhat and the conference title games. It just does. But I like this excitement, man. This is great, and Notre Dame needs to be a part of this all the time, every year. Plant your flag.
Yes, sir. You are totally correct, man. I just wanted to call in because I was off today. So just wanted to call in, man, say go Irish, man. I love this team. I love their fight. I love their grit. Yeah, man, I just wanted to make a short call today, man. Love the show as usual. And Happy New Year to everybody, and go Irish.
Man, I appreciate that. What a nice call. Happy New Year to you, man. Enjoy the game. But I hear that gentleman speak, and my blood pressure goes down. And I'm the kind of guy who could use that assistance with the old BP. Talking about them dogs. God, that's fun to say. Somebody tell me to just knock it off. It's just too fun to say, man. Look at this is maybe perhaps a unique take. I'm a Georgia fan, to hell with the SEC. I feel like that's a little bit of a unique take because I am used to the SEC fans tearing each other apart all year, going at each other back and forth all year. But then at the end of the day, when it gets to the postseason, it's like, well, we're all the SEC. And then they kind of want the other SEC teams to do good to make the whole conference look good if they're not playing each other. So I don't know. Maybe that's just an assumption by me. But that's the feel I've always had, is that when it all comes down to it, they're going to support their conference and because they want it all to look good. But that maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of a unique take. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not an SEC guy. And then Mark with glasses said this needs to be, making the playoff needs to be the knock it off, John. Give me the dogs. It's the stupid face I make when I do it too. Stupider than usual. The dogs. Give me the dogs. That is so fun. I need to knock it off. Grow up, John. Grow up. Mark with glasses said the new standard is Tom. I love Tom and his references. I can't wait till Jeremiah Love runs one around the end and he's whistling Dixie all the way to the Georgia zone. I remember, who was it? Either one of the older failed Bears coaches in recent vintage or something. They used to play the clip on 670 The Score. Somebody asked him a question of like, why are you so bad at football or something? And he was like, whistle Dixie. I don't have to answer that. And everybody was like, whistle Dixie. What does that mean? I love you, Tom. Never change. Never, ever change. Will he be hard again? Personal question. Can't answer that. Going to have to beat the refs too. Did I hear it's Big 12 again? I don't want to quote that, but I believe I was informed it was going to be Big 12 again. But I don't know. So that's very interesting. 740, welcome to the show. What's going on?
John, how you doing, my friend?
I'm loving the excitement, man. Everybody's engaged. You got New Year's coming up. You got this is a wild time to be a Notre Dame fan. I'm going along for the ride.
Well, I need your help because I need an opportunity here to go ahead and help everyone understand the difference between reality and past delusion. Okay.
Okay.
We are not 2012 where we were exposed because we really weren't as good as we hoped we were. Okay. Not 18 or 20 or whatever. We're not the Brian Kelly Notre Dame. We're not the Charlie Weiss Notre Dame.
Yep.
We're Marcus Freeman's Notre Dame, okay?
Oh, I like this.
I've said it 100 times, John, and I'm going to say it 1,000 more. I have not seen a defense this violent, athletic, physical, mean, and fast. I can't remember the last time. Maybe 88, maybe 93. I'm 56 years old, John, and I've watched year after year of begging and pleading for this team to be as good as it is right now and as good as it was when Holtz was there. And also, too, I'm so sick and tired, John. I'm so sick and tired of people like Commander Luke with his, I don't know what's wrong with that guy. Maybe he needs therapy, maybe he needs drug testing, chemical dependencies. I don't know. This coaching staff, too, John, okay, this coaching staff, I would put up against every single one in the country.
Ooh.
This coaching staff is the best one in the country. Why did Al Golden leave the NFL? He was doing just fine where he was. I think Al Golden left because he loves Notre Dame, which is proven. We see it all the time. Okay? Mike Denbrock, his third stint at Notre Dame. Why would someone come back for a third bite at the apple unless they love the place? Not only do we have coaches that are talented, smart, can develop. I mean, who doesn't want to see Mike Mickens stay at Notre Dame for like the next 20 years?
Yeah. Well, number one is that part already needs to be a behind-the-scenes handshake deal between Freeman and Al Golden and Bavacqua, where they all say, Mickens, you're the DC in waiting, and you need to keep that guy around for the recruiting and the development and the way he gets his guys to perform. He is Freeman's road dog going all the way back to Cincinnati, I believe. You got to keep that guy around. He's got to be the next DC and stay with Marcus. That's true.
Plus, John, Mickens is not Laurinaitis. As soon as Ohio State came calling, Laurinaitis was like, hey, see you, wouldn't want to be you. Mickens is about Notre Dame, in my opinion, and it shows in his craft, his love for Notre Dame, his love for his players, and how he has developed them to execute. I love Benjamin Morrison, and my heart sank when he got hurt. But we've seen how Mickens and company can just take the ball, next man in. The standard is the standard, and keep right on going. I'm telling you right now, next season, Leonard Moore and Christian Gray, if they're not already, which I think they are, will be the best cornerback duo in the country. And by the way, I got to tell you, John, you are an amazing, good-hearted man, because I would tolerate Georgia trolls about as much as I would tolerate getting another colonoscopy or, sitting through an Ohio State pep rally. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Also, too, let's be clear about this. If Freeman does go after another quarterback, there's got to be a good reason for it. And I do agree with Bruce. Sources are sources. I used to work in radio and TV many years ago. You don't burn a source, all right? Maybe you want to think about, do I want to put this out there, this information I have? Do I think it's credible? That's one thing. But you don't go burning a source. And frankly, I think there's more smoke than fire to all of this. But the bottom line also, too, is can we please stop pearls about Riley Mills. I love Riley Mills. But there were times during the season, John, and I don't think you're going to disagree with me, where he went invisible. He wasn't the game record all season long that we saw before he got hurt.
Yeah. Is it a matter of the overall depth? Is it a matter of the overall depth taking another hit? Is the issue that people, I think, are worried about. So you don't have any fear. You think Notre Dame could do the next man up and get by here in this moment doing that? They've done it all year. I just don't know if it's one too many or if they're going to be able to do it again. It's a legitimately fair question of the game, I think.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you on that one, John, but also too, while you're asking that question, here's my counter question. Do we honestly think that there's that big of a drop-off in talent between Mills and Rubio? I mean, Rubio has looked good, especially against the run. And now that Carson Beck is out, hey, Savage Dog, you like that? Come bring Gunnar Stockton, Trevor Stockton, whatever his name is. Come bring him up, because I'm guaranteeing you right now, Drake Bowen, Jack Kaiser, Jalen Sneed, who else am I forgetting?
I love this,
Jake
man.
Osbury. We got plenty for you there, sir. We got plenty for you. And you know why we got plenty for you? Because we are the University of Notre Dame. We are the Fighting Irish. And for once, since 93, the Fighting Irish have a real serious bite.
Yeah.
They're a dog that's got real serious bite. And they're going to sink their bite in your sorry dog butts and bite down hard. And by the way, John, did you know that Booger McFarland, yesterday during the halftime, I think it was like the Miami Bowl game, I think it was, or like the day before, Booger McFarland picked Notre Dame to win. That LSU SEC loving Notre Dame hating, hack, Booger McFarland actually said, and I quote, I don't even really know if it would matter if Carson Beck was in there.
Ooh.
Notre Dame's defense is violent and aggressive, and when you put Jeremiah Love running the ball, frankly, I don't think that Georgia could stop Notre Dame even with Carson Beck in there. And if we're worried about Gunnar Stockton, if we're worried about him, then guess what, John? We shouldn't be here in the first place. And don't get me wrong, I would be crushed if we don't win the national championship. But with what Freeman's done since the NIU loss, to me, is nothing short of remarkable. And I will not consider I won't consider this season a failure, maybe a disappointment, but not a failure, because he showed us that, yes, John, you're right about this. This little journey we're on is not the top of the mountain. It's only climbing its way up.
Yeah.
Look at the recruiting. Look at the development.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw this, John?
Yeah, it is trending in the right direction. It does feel different. The energy's different. The confidence around the program's different. And the reality is we're going to find out it's different. We're going to find out to what level it's different against Georgia. It is just a factually different challenge than the Indiana situation. And so that's my take. Notre Dame's clearly different. We're about to find out how different, what that level is. I think that's a fair way to look at this.
Yeah, I got to tell you, too, everything I've heard, I expect Riley Leonard, the other Riley, who's pretty damn important in this program, I expect Riley Leonard to go ahead and will this team to win, put this team on his back, and say, guess what, guys? I'm the leader. I'm the playmaker. I was at Duke. I'm the playmaker that you wanted to be here, and now I'm going to be the playmaker that puts us over the top. Thanks for letting me get in, John. I'm going to try to get in on Wednesday morning. If not, Happy New Year. And to the trolls and all the Johnny Raincloud Notre Dame fans, guess what, trolls? You can go kick rocks or pound sand. Either way, take your choice. And let's go ahead and sprinkle a little sunshine in. Notre Dame won a playoff game. Notre Dame is actually credible. And if you're worried about relevance, well, apparently we're more relevant than ever, baby. And the grumpy old veteran, Sergeant Steve Irish, is out. Woo!
Have a good one. Man, I like that guy's energy. I don't know where he came from, but man, he's got energy. He's cooking for sure. And he was talking about the dogs that Notre Dame has. That's how I'm looking at it. It is very, very clear this team has a different edge to it and a different mentality under the tutelage of Marcus Freeman and this staff and the player leadership. It is a very different feel. We're about to find out just how different it is. And whatever this result is, there's going to be big time lessons to learn from it. So I don't know. Savage Dog is in here talking a lot of stuff. Like I don't think it's directed to me. All I've said is I I respect Kirby. I respect the talent on the team, but I expect Notre Dame to be able to compete. The other thing I'm open to is maybe Notre Dame gets ran on a little bit more than they would want because they're a little lighter in the middle. Maybe you're not able to get the pressure you want against their offensive line or whatever. Can you not bait this young kid in this moment to throw you the ball a couple times to our secondary? Is nobody else thinking about that? Uncle Al, dial something up to change this guy's eye level. Bait him into throwing our secondary, the strength of the team. Do that. Like, I just think there are gives and takes with this. Philly special with $5 hour score prediction yet. It's in tomorrow morning's video. So it'll go out in tomorrow morning's video, the official score prediction. I feel like it might be less scoring than people think with the physicality of both teams and the inexperienced QB of Georgia. Don't you kind of have to think if it's a lower scoring ball game, that kind of helps Notre Dame? We have had problems putting up points in these big time postseason moments, all the playoff moments. We've had trouble scoring enough points. Maybe that helps Notre Dame. Callahan Auto Parts, $5 hour. ND must score 35. I think that's the magic number. So he is on the total opposite end of the spectrum here from Phil's thought about it being a lower scoring game. Would you rather lose to Georgia or Ohio State or Michigan? Georgia. 100% Georgia. I have nothing personal against Georgia, the way I have a lifelong negative interaction train with most of the Ohio State people and all of the Michigan people. And now add LSU into the mix too. So I would rather, if I had to lose to anybody, I would much rather lose to Georgia than Ohio State or Michigan or for sure LSU. Not even close. I just don't have the personal vendetta against Georgia and that program and Kirby the way I do have personal problems with all the other groups. Eric from the Ohio pod is a rare exception for the Ohio State rule. The Ohio State caller that calls here all the time, he's an exception to the rule. That guy actually sent me a Christmas card. It really threw me off, man. That the Ohio State caller that you guys all know that calls, he literally sent me a Christmas card. Nicest guy in the world. I can't hate him. I can't hate him. It's just, I just can't do it. He's too nice. 480, welcome to the show. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, John? How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. I'm just enjoying the excitement. I'm enjoying the build-up. This is exciting. I like it.
Nice, man. I'm actually going to the game. I'm leaving out tomorrow. I have floor, like feet to the field, like 10 rows up from the field in the corner end zone. So I'm really excited, man, to go to this matchup. And I just kind of been, I was listening to Rodney say earlier, like I've kind of been playing it in my head too, like 5 different ways this game can go. You know, I think, man, it's going to be a very physical game. I think that it's going to come down to the trenches. I understand, like, losing Riley Mills hurts in some capacity, but like the guy said previously that was on the phone, you know, I mean, Gabriel Rubio is a good, you know, if anybody's going to fill that gap, Rubio is a good guy to fill that gap, you know. And I just think, man, that Al Golden is just such a mastermind at defense that he's going to draw something up that's going to confuse with kids because, I mean, we got to think about this, man. I don't care if it's the Pop-Tart Bowl, the Dookie Bowl, whatever. Like, dude, when you have your first start in a college game, there are going to be some things that you're going to do that might be a little out of your comfort zone because you're trying to get acclimated to your style game in a high-speed matchup. And, like, you're going against one of the best defenses in college football. Like, this is not, you know, Massachusetts and nobody else. This is Notre Dame. Okay? So, for this kid to have to make his first start, and I watched the second half of the matchup between Texas and Georgia. And, you know, I saw somebody make a post that said, if you really pay attention, they really didn't change their offense structure. Like, everything that they did pretty much was in alignment to what they did under Carson Beck. The only differential is this kid can actually get out and run. So I can see a little bit more RPO being introduced into the game plan.
Yeah.
Because, they might think that we're not fast enough to get on the
Yep.
edge. What they're going to understand and realize, though, is that, everybody's called in and said, like Tom and others have said, this defense is different, man. And, John, I'm around the age range of you, man. I've watched these games. We go into these big matchups, and the conversation has always been, let's just keep it close.
Yep.
Let's not get blown.
Yep.
I don't have that mindset anymore. I don't have it anymore. I truly don't even feel any type of nervousness or, stress or anything. I really feel like, man, that Freeman has his team in a different gear. The mentality is different. It's not going in trying to keep it close. It's going in to win the game.
Yeah, dude, I think you're right. It's one of the biggest differences I've seen between where the Freeman era is at and trending towards and before. You don't feel like they're going to enter this game playing not to lose or playing not to lose by a lot. You feel like they're going to go in it to win it. And that is a totally different mentality than we have had in these big moments. These guys aren't going to play all tight and scared to let it rip out there. Like, it's just a totally different mentality. Making that translate to physicality on the field is a different thing. But the mentality, I'm with you. It's totally different. Totally different. Night and day.
Absolutely.
Night and day different mentality in the program.
Absolutely, man. I didn't have anything else to say, man. I'm heading out to the game.
Let me tell you this, man. It means the world to me whenever we get Notre Dame people that are able to travel and go to these games and represent Notre Dame. And God bless you, man. I hope you have safe travels. I hope you have a good New Year's, and I hope you get to celebrate a win down there, man. Safe travels, and let us know how it is down there, okay?
Hey, most definitely, man. I'll give you a call.
Beautiful. Have a good time. Safe travels. All of that stuff. Savage Dog. The Dogs will run for 250 plus. I've been writing and speaking about this forever, ever since this matchup. The quickest path to victory for Georgia is to be able to run the ball now north-south, push Notre Dame around. If you're able to do that, you're going to control the clock. You're going to wear down Notre Dame's defense. And most importantly, you're not making the young quarterback, inexperienced in this moment, have to be a hero and throw it all over to beat Notre Dame. If they're able to push Notre Dame and gain 5 yards on a first down north-south run every set, Notre Dame's screwed. There's just no way around it. That is my number one thing of, like, if I'm Georgia in the roadmap, I am seeing early in this game, if I'm able to push Notre Dame back off the line of scrimmage and run it north-south, that is their quickest path to victory. And then you take all the pressure off Stockton. He don't have to be a hero out there wheeling and dealing, throwing against Notre Dame's secondary. They want to not even have to deal with that issue. So it is incumbent upon Notre Dame to not let that happen. And that means you may have to bring extra resources up close to the line of scrimmage that you don't really want to, but you may have to do that and then sell out on the idea that you trust your guys on the back end in man coverage without a lot of help. And you're just going to have to live and die out there because you just can't get ran on north-south. That is the number one thing you can't do. Make this kid throw you a couple balls. Can you get enough pressure to make his mind speed up? And stopping the run is one thing. Getting some pressure is a different thing. And I want, make that kid throw you the ball a couple times. Make that kid throw you the ball a couple times. 404, welcome to the show.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
You're on the air. I'm talking to you. What is happening? Try and call again. But the phone line worked for everybody else but him. I don't know what's going on here. I have no idea. 574. Let's try this. What's up?
Hey, yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, then I don't know, man. That guy's got a problem with his phone. You need to call AT&T or something. What's going on, man? Thanks for the good. I don't know. It's not from my end. I'm saying hello. Hello. Anyways, what's going on?
That you, John?
I don't know who I am anymore. I'm losing my mind in Notre Dame land. What's up?
John.
What's up?
Close the door, John. There's a draft. Sorry. Okay.
What's up?
You got me goofy today, John.
Good.
Hey, how are you? Nice to talk to you, sir. I'll try to make this quick. As soon as I started to call in, I think some other people already kind of made this point. I applaud everybody out there, especially the man going to the game. I want to see some blue and gold out there. I hope we show up. And while I appreciate the level-headed logic that you and others present, enough of that. I don't know. I mean, that's not my department. You guys, I always learn something watching this. Callers and yourself, breaking it down. You really, you got some good angles. I appreciate the analytics on the one side, but this is Notre Dame. We've got so much to draw on. I'm sick of the rah-rah from down south and all this crap. I mean, let's blow them out.
Ooh.
What would Rocky say? What would Lakey say? I mean, I'm not saying I'm saying we got a shot at it. I mean, I'm not sitting here hedging my bets out. I'm good thing I don't gamble because
yeah.
Fat.
Yeah, it's
Notre Dame every time.
Dude, you
every
almost do
time.
with these buildups sometimes, especially with a big gap in a big game like this. You hear so much talking. I do understand at some point you're like, enough with all of this. I'm over it. Let's just go hit somebody and see what happens,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at these coaches, man, and they look dead serious. I mean, Freeman, Golden, everybody. I'm not seeing anybody smiling. They're going after it.
Yeah.
This year, and that's all we need to look at. I mean, the idea that we booed our quarterback earlier this year, man, it just turns my stomach. I don't get it. Riley's been he's been all you want, man. He's up there doing it Irish style. And to me, that's acting like you've been there before.
Yeah.
Get up there, show them what you do, make it look easy. Brush your shoulders off and just go to the next play. I'm seeing a lot more of that this year. They were putting it on sort of with Kelly. I feel I don't want to sit here and bash Kelly. I was riding with Kelly when he was here, but what though the odds be great or small? That's it.
That's how the song goes.
That mentality.
Yeah, that's how the song goes. Listen, this all feels very, very different. The entire energy around the program is different this year, and it feels like Freeman's finding his comfort level and footing and with everything, and it just feels like the team has an edge to it. I believe in all that. We're just going to see how far along that I believe that's all real. This game's going to be a great measuring stick for just how real it is at this point. This is not the end point. This needs to be the beginning of something, but we're about to figure out how far along this program is.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't get I get sucked into all the trash talking online and all that, and every time I try to put it down, I go right back to it.
Yeah,
I can't help myself. I'm new to all this. I'm not on social media.
Yeah, and it's like you don't want to do it, but it kind of fuels you and gets you fired up to do it. I understand both sides of that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was at a fever pitch for the IU game, man, and that was so much fun.
Yeah,
I called after that game. We talked, and you were really kind and everything, and so it's good. Yeah, it feels like crazy, irrational, Notre Dame or bust people have a place right here. This is great, and I just think, man, we can do this.
Yeah,
the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. We it's gonna be sweet if we can blow past these Bulldogs. I'm not saying they're any pushover, but we wouldn't want it any one other way. It's Notre Dame. Bring them all on.
Yep, this is a good challenge. It's a healthy challenge. If you're going to make a real title run, you're going to have to go through a team with this roster, this sort of roster eventually. I think Notre Dame's up for the challenge. I want it to be a different result than we're used to getting, but I expect a close, physical, tough ball game that Notre Dame's right in till the end and maybe win it. That's what I see here, man. I'd be really surprised if either team pulls away from the other in a big way. That's just what I think. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, I think those boys are ready to go, and I think we ought to be right behind them. So,
yeah, it's going to be great, man. Hey, anything else? Thanks for the call. And I got to tell you, crystal clear phone lines, A+, 10 out of 10.
Oh, all right. That's Indiana phone system. Thumbs up to that.
I didn't think we were going to give a shout out to the Indiana phone system, but good job. Thanks a lot, man. Enjoy the game. I like that. Your laugh is making my stress go away. I appreciate it, man. Enjoy the ball game. Give me a call Wednesday morning on a pregame show or after if you want. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Hey, one more thing.
Yeah.
Clashmore Mike was undefeated almost. The greatest winning percentage of any mascot ever.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
why can't the leprechaun have a dog as like his sidekick and we get both? Why can't we do that?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like that.
We could have a few timeouts letting the dog go like Leahy used to.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good one, man. Thank you. Have a good one. Enjoy New Year's. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Irish. Happy New Year.
Yep. Jay, I'm going to post it, but I have things saved that I want to address, and I'm gonna get to it. I will not do you wrong. Anybody that posts super chat, you get your thing read. Omar says everybody wants the do-rags. Here's the deal. Shouldn't we just make the agreement that if we win this game, that I have an obligation to order do-rags and put them on the Always Irish Shopify store and then wear one on the air? Is that like, can we just make that agreement as a group? I think that's what we should do. That if Notre Dame wins, I got to find a way to get a do-rag, an Always Irish do-rag, and then I got to wear it on the show. And it would be the funniest thing of all time. And the reason why is John says do-rags are for thugs. Not when I'm wearing one. Just picture Kip from Napoleon Dynamite. Just picture me in here wheeling and dealing, doing my thing, but I got the ropes in the back, and I'm... And you know what? What a good way to hide my receding hairline, bro. It's with an Always Irish do-rag. Unbelievable. Jay Lamont, $5 holler. Gunnar is who the film says they are who they thought they were. Gunnar is who the film says. A bad pick and a fumble when pressured. He's not fast, so no open field moves. I'm not worried or concerned. 31-17 would be one hell of a night for the Irish. Oh, that'd be one hell of a night for the Irish. Beefeater, $10 holler. The reason Georgia beat ND in 2019 was that Kirby Smart hired Monty Van Gorder, ND's sideline signal caller in 18. Georgia hired their own Connor Stallions. I didn't know that. That's very, very interesting. That's very, very interesting. I think that's, I didn't know that. John, come on. You sound like just showing up is okay. I want to win. I don't care if it's by one. Nick, I don't know. I'm being as totally fair and open with this as I can. I expect a tough, close, physical ball game that Notre Dame has a chance to win if they make a few plays and things go their way. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know what I predict? Notre Dame to blow out Georgia. Like, I don't see that in the cards. I want it, but it's not what I'm predicting. I'm trying to be fair on this thing. But something I want people to realize is when you do the media thing, and I'll post my official thing in Sports Illustrated and on the video tomorrow, what I'm going to do. Sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, if you pick against Notre Dame, you're a Notre Dame hater and you have no faith and you have nothing. Dude, when you're in the media and they log your picks and you have a percentage that's public for everybody to see how accurate you are at what you do, you can't just pick your team to win every game because you want it in your heart. That's not the job. That's a fan job, not a media job. Like, you can't just pick Notre Dame every single game, no matter what, even if you think they're going to lose because your heart wants it, and then put it in the paper or the website, and then you look dumb. There's your heart, and then there's your head. That being said, I'm picking Notre Dame to win. I got to figure out the score, but I'm picking Notre Dame. What color are you making the bandana? I don't know yet, but let's hope we're in that Maybe we just put my logo all over it and I'm a do-rag. I don't know. We'll see. Just picture somebody new that's never been in this show before, and then they tune in and it's just me with the do-rag, like doing my thing with my personality with the do-rag. I need this to happen. I need you to win this game so that I could do this. I need it so bad. You have no idea. 386, you're in the mix. What's going on in Florida?
What's going on? Always Irish fan. How you doing, John?
Oh, I'm telling you, it is these are wild times. I'm going for the ride. I'm enjoying it. This is exciting. Everybody's engaged. Notre Dame has a chance to change the narrative. I'm here for it.
Yes, sir, bro. Let's use all this to fuel the fire, man. We saw the videos of the team landing there last night. The team's vibing. We're having fun. That's what it's about. And I feel like that's how we've been playing. You know, this team's having fun. We play with a vibe we haven't seen in a long time.
It's true. They don't play too many of these games. Our program was so tight, man. It didn't even look like guys were having fun out there. They were playing so tight and wound tight, and the coaches coached tight. The game plan was timid, and I always felt like the mentality was, let's just go and try not to lose or not lose by a lot. But it wasn't a mentality of we're going in there to win the thing. And I think this is a very, very different mindset. However, mindsets and performing are two different things. So they got to back it up on the field. But I do like and recognize how much the mindset of this program has changed in year 3 of Freeman. I believe that is real. We're going to find out how real.
For sure. And it's kind of like that placebo effect right now, because we're feeling those emotions. But again, we were the underdog in those games because teams knew how we played in those big moments.
Yeah.
So now when you look at our team, we show that we can actually put up a fight, and now the tides are kind of seeing turn. And that's how you're seeing it through the national media, through people, different lenses. People are starting to recognize that we're playing differently.
Yeah. Do you think
now it's time to prove it? Now it's time to prove it.
Let me ask this. Do you think, should Notre Dame not beat Georgia, what do you think the narrative is going to be for this year? A success, a failure? Does it matter how close the Georgia game is? Like, I don't even want to think about it. I want us to win, but it is something that has crossed my mind of like, I wonder what the response will be from the Notre Dame media circuit and the fan base. Should you not be able to get this done? Are people going to say the injuries? What do you want them to do? Or are people going to say you beat Indiana and they didn't belong, and then you've played a team that did belong and you lost? I'm just wondering what the narrative is going to be at that point. But I hope we don't have to deal with it.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. No, I think when it's all said and done, you have more positives to take away from the season than you do negatives from what happened after week 2. Many teams would have crumbled at that time and probably lost more games if they had our schedule. But again, it's so hard to just say that, it's Notre Dame. Like, we're the only team that, again, plays multiple different teams from multiple conferences. No one gives us credit for that. We traveled to multiple big cities, played in big stadiums this year. Nobody gives us credit for that. Like, that's the Notre Dame life. We're here. We're here though.
Yeah, it is.
To prove it.
Here's what I'm starting to think. It is clear to me this is all different. It's trending different. The vibe around the program, the energy around the program is different. The players seem to have an edge to them that we have not had lately.
Yep.
It's just, I have no doubt about that being different. Now it's about measuring just how big of a jump and different it is. That's how I'm looking at this. This is the next measuring. And then you're going to figure out you were different enough to beat Indiana at home on that big stage, but not different enough to be able to take down mighty Georgia, a top 3 recruiting operation for multiple years and the most proven head coach in the whole tournament. Like, you're going to find this is different. It's trending in that right direction. I got to figure out exactly our levels. How far ahead of this are you going to get? That's how I'm looking at it. This is a big measuring stick moment.
Yep. And I had one pretty key thought about this that not many people have talked about. A couple of people have mentioned it, but the time that it's been since Georgia has played their last game, it's been close to 23 days, I think.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's
a good
interesting.
amount of time for a team that hasn't stepped onto a field and to play our defense. That's a big factor going into the game, in my opinion.
I've thought about this. I'm glad you brought this up. I've thought about this. And the way I see it is, it could go two ways. It could be that's exactly what they needed after the SEC grind and all that to be able to get everybody healthy and get toned up again and your bumps and bruises, and you're totally tuned up and ready to let it rip. That's option A. Option B is, man, you're off 3.5 weeks. It throws off your routine and it takes you a quarter and a half to get fully engaged and lubed up again. I see that. Right. I see that going both ways, and I just don't know which way that's going to break. But I've thought about that dynamic, like you said. Like, does it take them a little while to get fully going here, and you could take advantage of that early, or are they salivating like the dogs would, and they're salivating and they're totally tuned up and ready, and they needed those weeks to get healthy? I don't know, man. It's a good question.
It's tough because in my perspective, yes, they've had extra time to prepare. And we all know Kirby's going to have the team ready. We're not doubting that.
Yeah.
But getting the team ready is different from them making plays when the ball is kicked into the air. Those are two separate things too. So as much as they are ready to play and can be ready because they're coached by Kirby, they can also mess up a lot in key plays and key moments of the game and show their rust.
Yeah.
They haven't played in a couple weeks.
Here's the other thing, man. What I don't want to happen is, you cannot let this inexperienced quarterback be a hero against Notre Dame in this moment. If they run the ball north-south and we just are too beat up to stop it, so be it. It wasn't meant to be. You have too many injuries, and it's a sign you don't have the depth you need there, whatever. I can live with that. What I can't live, I'm not going to like it, but I could probably live with it. I can't live with the concept that you let this guy with all this inexperience in this stage be a hero and run around you, and he's clowning you and doing all that. You can't. That absolutely cannot happen. If they run the ball north-south and beat you, fine. There's not much you can do about it. But I cannot let this inexperienced quarterback have the day of his life and be a hero. That can't happen. It just can't be. No. It can't be.
No, you stop the run. You cause havoc. You show multiple different fronts, different blitz packages, and you just create chaos for him the whole game. That's how you essentially win this game. I really think we're going to be able to score enough points, and I don't think Georgia's played a defense like ours this whole year. So, like you just said, you got to prove to that you have to prove to that young quarterback that you're going to get to him, and you're not going to give him any time. And if you can do that for 4 quarters, that's a good possibility of winning the game.
Yeah, so. Yeah. This is going to be my overall opinion on this is things are changing in a positive way for Notre Dame. The entire mentality is everything's improving in the way we always wanted. It's just this is a measuring stick of how far it's gotten. But again, this needs to be a step on the journey upwards, not the top of the mountain. That is the zoomed out big picture takeaway for me is this, whatever this ends up being, it needs to be the beginning of something and not the top of the hill.
100%. Let's go compete. Let's go win this game and onward to victories, man. I love the show. I love you guys. Cheers to the chat. Y'all are great. I can't wait to meet y'all. And go Irish.
Oh, thank you, man. Enjoy New Year's. Try and relax. Have a couple cold ones, and then get ready to stress out, my friend. Have a good one, and thanks for the call. All right, you guys. I got a full bank of other callers. I got a hard out at 11 o'clock. I got errands to run. Those of you that know my brother, he's flying in from Florida with his family and his son. They want to be here to be with my family, the family for the game and everything. And he wants to be with me and Always Irish Senior. And God bless him. He's got like a 1.5-year-old kid, and he's willing to fly from Florida and do all that just to be with us. We got a lot of stuff, man. I'm not even letting some of this stuff get to me. Some of these people are trying to trigger me with it's just getting to be too much, man. It's getting to be too much. Look, what changed? Recruiting? No. Winning big games? No. What exactly's changed? Again, I told you, why are you ignoring all everybody complained about was Brian Kelly's record against ranked teams. And now you have Freeman winning the most games any coach has won in 3 years, and he's won his last 7 against the top 25. He just won Notre Dame's first playoff game and his first as a head coach, man. If you don't view that as progress, you don't want to see what you intentionally don't want to see what's going on here if you don't view that as progress. $5 hour. Thanks, Johnny. Go Irish. Here's the thing, man. I had another full bank of calls. I had to make it a priority today to get some people in that are first-time callers or have not called in a long time and try and get them back in the mix. I hope everybody understands how I try and navigate that. Don't want to be disrespectful or play favorites or whatever. It isn't the easiest thing for me to navigate those calls every day. I do the best I can. Same thing with the super chats. I want to mention every once in a while, they will post and I get busy or distracted and I have something and I don't pull them up. And I want to say that's never intentional, man. Even if it's a $1 holler, a $2 holler, if you donate, you deserve to have your chat read on the air and put on the screen. And I always try and do that. So if I ever miss one of your super chats to put up, please know I'm really, really sorry. I would never, ever mean to do that. Adam's saying to hire a screener. Yeah, maybe I should hire Ronald McDonald to be my screener or whatever. I could just picture him like sitting in a studio with the whole clown thing. And he's like, and I hear him off to the side like a real radio show where they're like, okay. And they're like, all right, so you want to talk to John? What are the topics? Like how they vet the callers before they come on. And it's just Ronald. He's got the headphones on and it's smashing his hair. And he's sitting there. What do you want to talk to John about, you idiot? Ronald McDonald with cornrows is a different look. That's bold. Ronald McDonald with cornrows is bold. Ronald McDonald with the do-rag is really bold. That is my promise to you guys. If Notre Dame beats Georgia, I am ordering a Always Irish do-rag. I'm wearing it on the air, and I don't care who sees it, and I'm going to be proud. Let my daughter be the screener. All she's going to say is Ariel or whatever. Ursula. What's the girl from Frozen? She's into that Ursula, Elsa and Annie, Anna and Elsa, whatever. It's going to be something like that. That's all she wants. And so I don't know, you guys, this is going to be wild. So here's the schedule. First off, thanks for the calls. Thanks for the chats. We had pretty good numbers for a Monday. Thank you very much for all that. The Philly special to the Kennedy family. You guys are the best. Thanks, Phil, man. We have a really special group, man. We have a really, really special group. And it is the number one thing I'm most proud about the community we built over the years is the people. It is the people that is the best part. When you put out like a good energy out in the world, man, sometimes that's what you attract back. And never has there been one moment at any of the tailgates or events that I've hosted, the Hartman autograph thing, any of the actual tailgates for blue and gold or the games, there has never been one person or group of people that has come to those that I'm like, I don't want them here. I don't like their vibe, or they're not here for the right reasons, or they're trying to cause trouble. I have never, ever experienced that with one person that's come by any of our stuff. It has been it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, man. I love the people we've met. Yeah, Mark, I do have that picture saved in my phone. I'll send it to you. And so, yeah, we need a big show. Schedule. Reminder for the schedule. Tonight, Patreon Live with Mike Goolsby. He's been gone on with family doing stuff out of state. I have not been talking to him. It's going to be good to get back and compare notes on where all this is at one last time. We usually go at 7. We're going at 8 Central to let him make the drive back home and get situated. So we're going to go at 8. So we're going to do that at 8 o'clock. That'll be tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'll post my official pregame video with the score prediction. That'll be in the morning. New Year's Day morning, when you're all hungover, I'm going live at my normal time. We're going to do a CFP pregame show from 9 to 11. Then we're going to watch all the games and stress out. And then we're going live after the game, and we'll go from there. And hopefully we have other games to stress out about and worry about coming forward. 574 Kevin. Kennedy's a very proud name. You wear it well, Always Irish. Thank you. That means the world to me, man. It's kind of weird when you go through life named John Kennedy. I don't know. It's just always, nobody forgets me. Good reasons or bad, nobody forgets me. Sometimes I wish people would, but nobody forgets you when your name's John Kennedy. And we had that name in the family way before that guy. That's the other thing I'll tell. Were you named after him? No, we had that. John Kennedy's been a family name the first male in each generation gets forever. We had it way before that bootlegging family came along. Share some of the wealth. So, anyways, I will say this. When you're doing media stuff, it's a good thing to have a name nobody forgets. That is one thing I've learned is it is a little different. It is a little different when your name's John Kennedy and you're in the media. Nobody forgets it. It sticks. So I like it. Look at Adam here on the way out. John, it's going to be a long day of pacing for you. You know, Rudy mentioned that earlier. Pat knows. I do a lot of pacing, man. That's just the way I stress out. Let me do it. I stress out. I felt bad because I was not myself at the tailgate for Indiana, and I openly admit it. I think I drank 2 beers all day. I mean, the Fireball shots are different. That was for warmth. 2 beers all day, maybe 3 in 10 hours. It was not a tailgate situation. It was just a John stressing out and wound tight thing. And I'm sorry, you guys. I was not myself, and I wasn't going to fake it just to do that. Like, everybody could see in my eyes, this was different. This ain't Central Michigan. Johnny's hosting a party. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. This was more serious. I love you guys. I love you guys. This chat. I love you guys. Thanks for the calls. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for the community we're building. I love you all. Most of you. I take that back. I don't love you all. Most of you are all right. Most of you are all right. All right. We'll see you guys on Patreon Live, and have a good day.